A minute in a plank is not a normal minute. It stretches, it drags. It feels longer than a microwave minute, and we all know that's the longest minute on Earth. That's what made me curious enough to test it. So I decided to plank every single day for 30 days. Nothing extreme. Just one plank a day, adding a little time whenever I could, and paying attention to what actually changed. On day 1, I lasted 23 seconds. On day 30, I held 4 minutes and 7 seconds. But what surprised me most wasn't my core. It was what was happening in my head. Day 1 was humbling. I sat up with my forearms on the floor, body straight, trying to look confident. 23 seconds in, I collapsed. Not dramatically, just done. I wasn't completely untrained. I'd been away from core work for a few months after tweaking my lower back. So I wasn't starting from zero, but I definitely wasn't starting from hero either. And honestly, for most people, 10 to 30 seconds is a very honest baseline. My goal wasn't to become a plank expert. I just wanted to reach a clean 2-minute hold and see what 30 days of consistency would actually do. I chose the same time every day, did one solid plank, and slowly increased the time. That simple rule, same time every day, mattered more than I expected. I wanted some exciting secret. Instead, I got discipline. I even filmed myself from the side on day 1. Around 18 seconds, my hips started to sag. The funny part was that I felt strong. I genuinely believed my form was solid. It wasn't. Your ego notices failure much later than your body does. So I tightened things up. I used a mirror. I set a timer that beeped every 10 seconds. I kept my cues simple. Elbows under shoulders, push the floor away, keep the spine long, no fancy variations, just clean, honest holds. The first few days felt encouraging. 23 seconds quickly turned into 35. I started thinking I'd hit 2 minutes by the middle of the month and maybe even surprise myself. Then day 4 showed up. 45 seconds suddenly felt heavy. The shaking came back. My hips wanted to drop. My shoulders crept up toward my ears. On day 5, I quit early. There was no injury and no real excuse. I just decided I'd done enough for the day. That bothered me more than the physical fatigue. By day 6, I reached 55 seconds, and I noticed something important. The last 15 seconds felt longer than the first 40 combined. The harder it got, the slower time seemed to move. My brain started negotiating. It told me I had already done enough. It told me I didn't need to prove anything. That mental drag turned out to be the real workout. Week 2 felt different. I wasn't dramatically stronger yet, but my body stopped fighting itself. There was less wasted tension. My breathing smoothed out. The shaking that felt overwhelming in the beginning started to fade around day 12. It felt like my nervous system finally understood what I was asking it to do, instead of reacting like it was under threat. Around the middle of the month, soreness faded and boredom took its place. Static holds make time loud. You feel every second. To keep things interesting, I added jump rope a few days a week. Heavy rope forced me to brace just like planks did. If I relaxed my core, I paid for it immediately. That small bit of variety made the challenge easier to stick with without breaking the daily plank rule. I tried distractions too. Music, counting breaths, even imagining a peaceful beach. None of it really helped. In fact, trying to escape the discomfort made me focus on it more. What actually worked was simpler. I stopped trying to run from the discomfort. I just stayed there and focused on holding clean form. It wasn't enjoyable, but it was manageable. And manageable done consistently becomes powerful. On day 18, I hit 2 minutes. That felt like a milestone. But new weaknesses showed up. My shoulders started complaining. Years of desk work had left those stabilizers underprepared. Small adjustments helped, pressing my forearms slightly forward, keeping my ribs down, lengthening my neck. Tiny changes made a noticeable difference. I also had to stretch my hip flexors after each session, because sitting all day combined with isometric holds tightens everything quickly. By day 21, 2 minutes felt repeatable. 2 minutes and 30 seconds felt steady. My breathing stayed calm. My posture during the day improved without me thinking about it. That felt like real progress. Then, day 26 arrived. Physically, I was fine, but mentally, I was tired of it. Bored, irritated, tempted to skip and call it recovery. That's when I realized most people don't quit at the beginning. They quit right before the finish line. What carried me through wasn't motivation. It was the rule. I had committed to 30 days, so I followed through, even on days when I didn't feel inspired. On day 29, I held 2 minutes and 35 seconds with zero excitement, just discipline. Day 30 felt like a final exam. Same setup as day 1, same position. The timer started. At 1 minute 30, I felt steady. At 2:30, breathing was controlled. At 3 minutes, my mind started bargaining again. I ignored it. I kept focusing on form. At 4 minutes and 7 seconds, my hips finally started to drop, and I stopped. Going from 23 seconds to over 4 minutes felt significant. More than 7 times longer than where I began. Out of curiosity, I tried a stability ball plank afterward. I lasted 2 seconds. Instant humility. What changed over those 30 days was more than just endurance. Bracing became automatic. My posture improved. I handled discomfort with more patience. What didn't change were visible abs. 30 days of planks did not magically transform my physique. And whenever my form slipped, my lower back reminded me immediately. The biggest lesson was this. Planks are less about core strength and more about mental discipline. Most people don't quit because it burns. They quit because they get bored and start negotiating with themselves. I won't plank every day forever, but I will keep it in my routine a few days a week, paired with movement I enjoy. If you decide to try your own version of this challenge, start wherever you are. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, it doesn't matter. Everyone starts somewhere, and most of the time, that somewhere is the floor. Subscribe.